Thank you, Mayor. Good afternoon, everyone. As we do or have done in the past, whenever we process a modification to the Transportation Improvement Program, and this is a simple change via a single a letter, as you are seeing on the screen, we always present it to this board the following month. We are presenting this to you. It is a modification, and the federal funding amount is $950,000. Basically, this is a modification that's similar to one that we passed uh, in December. Um, we had to redo this because we needed to have a reduced amount. Whenever we modify the tip, and then of course NDOT modifies the tip, there is a certain amount or threshold that we can process a modification. When we processed it back in December, we looked at the total amount of the capital funding for 2025 versus just a single project. And when NDOT reviewed it, they just looked at it as a single product or project. So our percentages were slightly different. So we had to come back and reprocess this as a modification with a reduced amount. The original amount was for $1 million and it was reduced to $950,000. And the reason again for this is that the low or no emission grant that was awarded federal funds, while it was awarded, FDA did not actually obligate the funds and let City Bus use those. So in order to pay the bills, because this project is moving forward, they had to move their standard annual Section 5307 funds to this project. Are there any questions or comments that I may be able to answer? Thank you.
All right, hearing none, thank you, Doug. We appreciate that and bringing that to our attention. We'll move on to the APC progress report. First item on that is under the MPO update, and we have the 2027 cost allocation plan, and Tim will be handling that presentation.
Yes, so this is something that we do every year. It's part of our Unified Planning Work Program, which is our main budgeting document that explains how we as the MPO allocate what we call our PL funding, our planning funding, towards all of the transportation planning work that we do around our office. So this was submitted to NDOT, and we do have their approval for it. We don't need any action from you as the policy board at this time, but I did want to just bring this up in case there are any questions, because we will need, once we have the full UPWP draft document, which we're planning on bringing to you next month, we will need action on that then. So I wanted to get this component in front of you so you had some time to look over it, ask any questions either this month or next month. Kind of as I'm scrolling through it, this just shows basically what we estimate our fringe rates, indirect cost rates, and our overhead will be. And then we have some documentation showing where we got all those numbers to create those calculations. So are there any questions about this or about maybe the UPWP process in general that I can answer for anyone?
All right, not hearing any. Thank you, Tim. If you have a chance to look through this, like I said, we'll take action on it next month and ask any questions that maybe that you have at that time then before we vote. So, thank you, and I'm sure Tim's available during the course of this month if you find something you'd like to discuss. With that, we'll go to the federal funding obligation, and Doug will be doing that one, and then the 18-month letting list.
Again, thank you, Mayor. On the screen, you will see the monthly obligation report. There's several pieces or items to report. You see one actual obligation, and this is the first FEMA's request for the Soldiers Home Road project. This is actually for right-of-way services. We did submit the second FEMA's request for actual purchasing of the property, and they are currently processing that right now. So I would suspect that next month, when we have this discussion again, we'll see those two show up. In addition to that, we do have we'll plan on moving the $340,523 to our work program. That request has been submitted to central office, and they are working on that request. They are the actual ones who will obligate the funding under this. So as soon as they finish up that process, we should see those funds actually obligated and move out of the TIP and into the work program. The other good news I'd like to report is that if you look at the spreadsheet, you will see a lot of lines for the South 9th Street project. And that was actually on NDOT's bid letting yesterday. The bids were open for the South 9th Street project. There were 3 bids submitted, and unfortunately, none of those were below all of the 3 were below the engineer's estimate. The lowest bid was to his or HIS Constructors, and the total amount was $13,526,943. Actually, right before this meeting, we did receive a letter from the Lafayette City Engineer's office that accepted the bid, and then since we received that, likewise, we also submitted to central office our federal obligation letter. So technically, we have submitted the paperwork to obligate basically the majority of our 26 federal funds. The next project that will be coming up to obligate the remaining balance is the Emergency Vehicle Preemption Project, and that is on the April bid letting. So with all fingers crossed, that will get good bid. Are there any questions or comments regarding that?
Hearing none, thank you, Doug. If you want to move on then, please feel
Sure.
free to do so.
Sure. Of course, this is the summary. The information we receive is actually from NDOT's 18-month letting list. And I'd like to begin on page 2, which actually shows the January bid lettings. There were 3 projects on the opening or bid letting that month. And the first one is the State Road 225 Truss Reconstruction and Repair Project. And if you look at it, the project was awarded. The estimated engineer's cost was $9.99 million, and the low bid was $9.175 million. So I'm excited about that. I've been mentioning that to a number of people around the community, and everybody seems to be excited. And if you look, the estimated completion date is unfortunately November 22nd of 2027. But the good news is that that project is moving forward. The next project is on I-65, a pavement patching project. According to the information that I put together on this, the award was pending. You see the engineer's estimate and the low bid. And then right below that, there was a scour protection project on State Road 38, and the project was awarded. So now if we could go back to the first page. Regarding yesterday's bid letting, of course, 3 of those were the South 9th Street project, but there was one other, and that was a soil nail repair for MSE walls of various locations. And the information I saw on NDOT's website was that the engineer's estimate was $1.99 million, and the low bid was $1.94 million. So the lowest bid was under the engineer's estimate. So next month we'll be able to report if that project was actually awarded or not, and I suspect it probably will be. For March, we actually have several additional projects that are on the letting list. One is the North 9th Street project, the bridge deck replacement, and then the remaining 3 are NDOT, various locations, and then one on State Road 25. Going down to Project 14, the State Road Traffic Signal Modernization Project at County Road 900 East. That was on the July 8th bid letting, but now it has been moved to the December 9th bid letting. And then finally, to tie this all up, going to the second page, project 24 through 27, we have 4 new projects. They are all on I-65, and they are thin deck overlay projects. And as you can see, they are at various locations: Wildcat Creek, State Road 26, both the northbound and southbound bridges. Are there any comments or questions regarding this? And then, of course, Debbie, if you have anything you'd like to add.
I think you covered it all. Thank you, Doug.
All right,
Great.
does anybody else have any questions reference the NDOT 18-month letting list? All right, thank you. We will then go to other business. Any of the board members have anything else to bring before the group today? Hearing none, we will go into the citizen comment portion of the meeting.
Okay, I'm timing us for 1 minute. Okay, it has been approximately 1 minute, and there are no public comments on Facebook or YouTube at this time.
All right, thank you very much. With that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second? I have a second. We have a motion
Second.
and a sec. Thank you. With that, I'll conduct a roll call vote. Aaron Easter,
Aye.
Jody Hamilton,
Aye.
Tracy Brown,
Aye.
Steve Snyder,
Aye.
Cindy Murray,
Aye.
Valentine,
Aye.
Jeff Calder.
Aye.
Thank you, everyone. We're adjourned.